What's up, YouTube? Raw just ended, so let's talk about Raw. So the show opens up with the Usos, but as soon as they come out, they get interrupted by Division. Logan Paul does, the phrase that Paul Heyman says, that ladies and gentlemen, but he's gonna get booed right away by the crowd. Division get upset that nothing has been done about the Masked Man, which Paul Heyman tells Adam Pearce to put Bronson Reed in the Elimination Chamber. LA Knight comes out and he says he wants Bronson Reed in the Elimination Chamber so he can beat his ass. That's what LA Knight says. Later on, Adam Pearce makes a match, a 6-man tag match between LA Knight and the Usos versus versus Division. And it was a good match, very fast paced, a lot of back and forth. And there's a spot where they end up in the outside of the ring, and Bronson Reed basically spears LA Knight through the barricade, which causes Logan Paul to hit Jimmy with the right hand, and then Bronson Reed hits a tsunami on Jimmy Uso for the 1-2-3. But after the match, Logan Paul, he's trash talking the announcers, and he gets curb stomped by the Masked Man, and then the Masked Man runs away after the match. And then there's a backstage segment with Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce sees a crate that says don't open till the 29th of this month. And so Adam Pearce says, you know what, just send it to SmackDown. I want to deal with that right now. And in comes El Grande Americano. He tells Adam Pearce he wants a shot at Dominic Mysterio's IC belt, which Adam Pearce tells him, how about I give you a chance, a title eliminator against a mystery opponent. And El Grande Americano, he says, yeah, I'll take that match. And because the next match is an Elimination Chamber qualifier, triple threat match between Asuka, Bayley, and Natty. And from this match, honestly, I love Natty's aggression in that match. It's a very good back and forth match, and Natty and Asuka, they were stiffing each other. It was a very stiff match between them. Bayley was kind of like just there, not really doing much, but Asuka does. And towards the end of the match, Natty puts Asuka in a sharpshooter, which Bayley hits Natty with the running knee. Bayley hits Asuka with the Bayley to Bayley, which Asuka kicks out, and Asuka ends up winning with the Asuka lock to Bayley. So Asuka make Bayley submit. Then it cuts to Liv Morgan in interview with Liv Morgan and Michael Cole to see who Liv Morgan is gonna face at WrestleMania. Liv Morgan says she has not made a pick yet, and she's not gonna make a pick because it's too soon for that. She's gonna enjoy the moment, which enters Stephanie Vaquer, and Vaquer tells Liv Morgan that she hasn't done the work that Vaquer has done, but this whole time she's talking in Spanish, which Dom is translating, which honestly is really funny what how they handle it. Rock tells Liv Morgan Stephanie Vaquer tells Liv Morgan if she picks Stephanie, she won't win. Liv Morgan, and then Liv Morgan ends up crying and leaving right after the interview. And it cuts to another segment. CM Punk comes out. CM Punk says Adam Pearce don't want him to jeopardize the main event of WrestleMania, which is him versus Roman Reigns. And CM Punk says he's not jeopardizing because he's gonna beat Finn Balor at Elimination Chamber. Punk says Finn deserves an ass kicking. Finn comes out with his old theme music, and he's just waiting by the entrance, looking back, and who comes out? Dominic Mysterio. And who comes out after Dominic? A returning JD McDonough. Well, they're in the ring, they're cutting promos on each other, and what's his name? CM Punk basically says he's gonna beat Finn Balor again at Elimination Chamber. And what's funny is CM Punk turns his back, so the Judgment Day can attack him, but what's his name? Finn Balor doesn't let what's his name? The Judgment Day attack CM Punk, and then CM Punk throws a microphone at Finn Balor. And then it cuts, and then for the next match is El Grande Americano versus surprise opponent. And who is that surprise opponent? Well, it turns out to be Penta. And this match was a lot of fun. El Grande Americano backs up Penta into the corner, and he tells him, "Chinga tu madre, cabrón," and they have a chop match. And after that, Penta takes over the match. A lot of back and forth between Penta and El Grande Americano. There's a spot where Penta hits El Grande Americano with a Penta driver, which Grande kicks out. Penta goes for the Mexican Destroyer, and Rayo Americano gets on the apron, which causes a distraction. Then the other Americano, I forgot his name, Bravo Americano, tries to hand El Grande Americano the steel plate to put in his mask, but he gets dragged under the ring. And who comes out? The other Americano, the original one, the boring one, comes out and causes El Grande Americano the match, because Penta hits a springboard and hits a Mexican Destroyer for the 1, 2, 3. The next segment, it's AJ Lee. AJ Lee comes out, says she's a little bit worried because this is her first match, our first one-on-one match in over 10 years. And then she basically goes into saying that the division that she was in, the women's division, back then was way completely different than it is today. She said all they had to fight over was the Divas belt. She referenced the sparkly pink butterfly belt, but she said she held that with pride. And that was her gift to the company. AJ tells Becky to come out. Becky comes out, and Becky tells AJ Lee that her biggest gift to the company was leaving. And then they go back and forth. AJ tells Becky she gets a free hit on her to come in and take a sucker punch, and AJ puts her hands behind her back and her chin exposed, but Becky does not hit her. Becky can tell Becky she's AJ Lee's in Becky's mind. Becky leaves the ring, angry, talking trash, and then that segment ends. The next match, the main event, is Javon Evans versus Gunther versus Dominic Mysterio. And right at the beginning of the match, The first thing Dominic Mysterio does is leave the ring. He leaves the ring, and that's Javon and Gunther fight it out. Gunther chops Javon Evans. Dom chops Javon Evans, and then Dom runs away from Gunther. He's saying, "I'm trying to help you out. I'm trying to help you out." Then Gunther puts and then throughout the match, you know, basically Gunther is just manhandling Dominic Mysterio, getting the best out of Javon Evans. Gunther puts Javon Evans in the Boston Crab, and Dom breaks that up by chopping him, which Gunther doesn't feel it. And what does Gunther do? He delivers one of his own devastating chops to Dominic Mysterio, throws Dominic Mysterio outside the ring, and literally just tosses him around outside the ring. Outside the ring, he's just tossing Dominic Mysterio all the way around. And Javon Evans, he dives from inside the ring to outside the ring, taking what's his name, Gunther out. Then Dom grabs the hammer, the hammer, and places it by the steps. And when Gunther comes back into the fight, Javon Evans, you know, has some good spots against Gunther. Javon Evans goes for a cutter, which Gunther reverses it and puts him in a sleeper, which after that, Dominic Mysterio hits a frog splash on Gunther. He hits a frog splash on Gunther, and he tries to pin him, but Gunther kicks out. They end up back outside the ring, and Gunther grabs the hammer, but then Dragon Lee comes out, and he hits Gunther with the ring belt. Then Dominic Mysterio goes for the 619 and tries to go for the frog splash, which Javon Evans moves, and Javon Evans hits Dominic with the Carter for the 1-2-3, and he wins. He goes to the Elimination Chamber. And for this show, it was a solid. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. And yeah, thank you for watching.